Hello and welcome to another system-controlled Photoshop tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make glowing lines. It may not seem that extravagant, but it actually can be pretty cool. So first thing we're going to do is open up a new document, Control N or File, New. We're going to go ahead and make our dimensions width 2000 and height 1000, and these are pixels. Resolution, we'll just keep it at 72. Color mode, RGB color, and we'll start with a white background. Go ahead and press OK, and what we're going to do is head over here to the paint bucket, and we're going to change over our color palette. So we have black selected and we have the paint bucket selected. Go ahead and fill in the background color black. We'll go ahead and double click on the background color and press OK. No longer want it locked, and we'll just name it before we press OK, sorry about that, we'll go ahead and name it background and then press OK. And then head over to your layers panel on the right side, double click it, and your layers style will appear. Let's go ahead and do a gradient overlay, checkbox that, and go ahead and click on it so we can input the settings for it. We're going to change this to a radial, so the style radial, and we're going to inverse it. So then we're going to take the opacity down, and we'll say about 32%, and we'll take the scale up all the way to 150%, and then press OK. So now we have our background situated, at least for this, and the next thing we'll do is add a new layer. So come down here, this little sticky note, go ahead and click on it, and we have our new layer. So layer 1, let's rename this, and we'll say glowing line. So now that we have a new layer and we named it whatever we named it, we'll say glowing line in this case, we're going to go ahead and select the pen tool. Once we have the pen tool selected, we're going to go ahead and make our line. The way we do that is we just click to make the starting point, so that's the starting point here, and then we'll go ahead and click somewhere else. We can either make it a curve or just a straight line. The way you make curves is you click and hold, and then you drag your mouse. So you drag your mouse to whatever angle. As long as you're holding your mouse button down, your left mouse button down, you're going to be able to move this around any which way to get the perfect curve. If you were just to, let's go back, if we were just to click, it just makes a straight line from point A to point B. But what we do is we make our initial point, and then we click and hold, and we can drag our mouse around. So we'll go ahead and do that. And there we go. So we made our second point here. And the next step is to select our paintbrush tool. The reason why we're going to, it's right here, the reason why we select our paintbrush is to make sure that the size of our paintbrush, the master diameter, is to the size that we want it. So we'll maybe make it a little bit bigger at, let's say, 20 pixels. So the next thing we'll do is, after that's set, is go back to our pen tool and then right click on the canvas anywhere. I click up here in the right corner and still get the same options, and then stroke path. And right now I have it selected on pencil, but we're going to move this to brush. So select the drop down and look for brush, and then you can simulate pressure if you want that or not. Basically makes the edges go from thin to thick to thin, but we'll go ahead and just leave that off for now and press OK. So now it's stroked it black. So we have black selected here, stroked it black. You could have had any color in your color palette and it would have made that. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and change this to yellow selection, and right click, stroke path, select brush, press OK, and now it's yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter on my keyboard, and that's going to take away the pen outline, and it's off my canvas now. So now I'm going to go ahead and double click the glowing line layer. After I click it, I get my layer style settings for this layer individually, and I'm going to have an outer glow. And let's go ahead and bring up the spread and the size, and maybe take down the opacity just a little bit. So go ahead and press OK, and then what we can do is zoom in just to see it better. I'll go in at 100%. So you can see there's a lot more stuff we could do. For example, we could take this and duplicate this layer, and we could offset it a little bit by holding Control and then an up arrow and just go up a few times. and now it's offset, and then we can change the color of this and do a color overlay, and let's say that we want it the lightest blue color, and we do the same with the glow. So you could keep doing that, and if we duplicate this one, and bring it up, keep doing it, you could do some cool designs and effects. You can also wrap objects. Obviously it's 2D, it wouldn't be 3D, but looking like objects are wrapped with this glowing line. You can have the lines thicker, thinner, more of a glow. You can have gradients for the color. It can get pretty cool. But just to keep this tutorial short, that's how you make glowing lines, and hope you guys can apply this to some of your projects. If you have any questions, leave comments, and I'll go ahead and reply back to them, maybe even with the video to respond back to answer your question a little bit more thorough than just a written comment. Don't forget to subscribe and rate this video. See you guys next time. SystemCTRL.com.